Good morning and welcome to the Shooty and the Catfish development vlog for this week. If you don't know, because this is your first time, Shooty and the Catfish is a comedy RPG being made in RPG Maker MV. Now, let's get into my plans for this week. I hope you had a good weekend. I didn't. My apartment got flooded. My mum's dog got hit by a car. It's been rough. Anyway, right, so plans today. I have some stuff to do this morning, then I'll be coming home for a few hours and I'll be working on the enemy sprites for the maps in the second part of the castle. Then I'll be going to the pub for lunch with an old workmate, and then I gotta go visit my grandparents because I haven't seen them in weeks. So today's a bit of a short one, but enemy sprites usually only take me a few hours and there's only like 5 of them. Wednesday, I will be doing all the eventing for the castle because at the moment all the location links are broken. Then I've got to put the enemies into their places. There's the alpaca sequence where you meet that NPC that I mentioned last week and have a conversation with him, and he goes off and does his own thing, so he requires some specific eventing. And then there's also tying the hidden key from this dungeon into the first part, so I've got to get that up and running. Friday, I'm just going to start work on the last part of the castle part 3, which is also the final piece of mapping for the game, so I'll be doing that and fixing up those maps. And then Saturday, of course, editing and uploading the devlog. It's going to be a really hot week this week, so hopefully I get through all this stuff. I think I will. Wednesday is definitely going to be the big one, but yeah, let's get into it. Good morning. Here we have all of the sprites, the enemies in the second part of this particular dungeon. Thankfully, it only took me about an hour and a half to put together, which is good because it is such a busy day today, and it's getting really damn hot in here. It's going to be a hot week. But here we have the, I already forgot their names, little pigeon guy, little mushroom pigeon, the mushell, the knife-wielding mushroom duck man. And I decided, as you can see here, to use the larger sprites for both the optional boss here, the Cordiwary, which he translated quite well, and also the guard who will be working in the prison. So they both have big sprites to make them different. In the next game project, I might experiment more with these larger sprites because it is fun having that extra space to put detail into, as opposed to the smaller 16 by 16 ones. These ones are 32 by 32. It does make a difference. I guess if everyone was this big, then it would also kind of make everyone a little bit samey as well. So I don't know, I'll experiment more with it in the future, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. So now it's time to go get ready to go visit my grandparents at the beach. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday and it has been a hot day, and my day has been all over the place, but that didn't stop me from spending my afternoon smashing out the last of the things that needed to be done for the second part of this castle, and they are indeed all done. So let's get into it. We have enemies placed. Good. They're all over the joint. If you go down into the prison here, actually there's still an NPC that needs to be put there, so I haven't done everything. I've still got a little bit left to do, but most of it's done. So we've got these guards here protecting these 2 rooms. You can explore further. There's another guard down here which is protecting this guy. I don't need to have that test, that works. This is the alpaca from earlier in the castle, so you can save him here a second time. Again, completely optional. If you don't, it will change what happens later in the game, so you have 2 chances to interact with this guy. If you miss the first one, he's not going to show up here, and if you miss him the second time, he's not going to show up at the end. As you no doubt saw outside, I have also now included all of the treasure chests. We've got a few treasure chests laying around. I still need to find a good home for a healing station. I might end up replacing these mushrooms here with one just to be safe, so people have somewhere to heal should they need to. I'll do that now, live, just for you. So you can see where is that computer? There it is. Healing station, done. So that's all good to go. So all that's really left is one NPC, and I'll also be adding in the copy on the bookshelves, which you can find inside certain parts like here. They don't have any lore attached to them yet, so I've also got to do that, but I'll be doing that on Friday, as well as starting on the last dungeon in the game, or last part of the dungeon anyway, which I'm super stoked about. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday, and I've been very busy this morning polishing off parts of this dungeon that I've been working on, that you've been watching me work on all week. It's mainly been things like adding in these NPCs. I mean, he was already there, but he didn't really of dialogue that you could get from him before you saved him. And then down here in the prison, we've got this NPC. I've added in the copy onto the bookshelves, like so. And just lots of little tweaks, fixing up other broken links to other maps and things like that. So it's been like lots and lots of small stuff that ended up taking a lot longer than I was really hoping it would. And then another hour to update the Patreon, which, not the most in-depth write-up, but there is a lot of stuff there. And that's always the time involved in getting the screenshots and cropping them because I'm using a dual monitor setup and things like that. So that's all done now, which is great. And the other thing I did was I actually rearranged my studio space this morning. You can see some footage of it here. I'm not entirely happy with how it is at the moment, but I think it's a step in the right direction. I need to create more space because my fiance is going to be arriving here in the country in March, and I need to get this place organized and ready for her because it's not super spacious, and it's been very spacious for me, but I need to get it into a more of a two-person sort of setup. But anyway, now that that's out of the way, next up is I need to get these maps here, which are the last part of the New Folk Castle map setup. These are quite old, as you can see from the Game Boy aesthetic. There's a bit of an outdoor area, and then there is a couple of indoor areas. So I need to separate these maps, get them all linking up and talking to each other properly, because at the moment they don't, obviously. And I'm not entirely sure about what I'm going to do about the color palette up here, because everything's covered in snow and it's going to be snowing, and white on white is obviously hard to see. So there's going to be a bit of experimentation going on with this map, and it'll probably take me most of this afternoon and maybe a little bit into the night, which I guess we'll see. Good afternoon, it's me again. I'm back for the second time. It's been a weird day. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the temperature is still increasing. Very odd, very strange. Can't say I've seen it happen before, but I'm inside in the air conditioning. I've been here working on the snow, and I think it's come up looking pretty damn nice, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's have a little look at it in motion. Of course, the snow effect was it's already built into RPG Maker. I didn't do that part myself. That would be silly. But yeah, that looks pretty nice, I reckon. So in terms of things that I still need to add to here, which I'm not doing today, is up here at the top of the map, there's actually going to be a big throne here. The final boss, or is it, is going to be up here. This is where it's ruling over his kingdom from. And I also need to put in a bunch of mushrooms and stuff, because even up here in the snow, those mushrooms are growing everywhere. And then I need to break up this inside segment into 2 separate maps and get them looking a little bit more interesting, because these are really boring looking maps, and they need work. So I want this to feel like a dense area, like you've really made your way up. This isn't a dungeon anymore. This is basically just the room that leads up to the final boss. So it needs work, it needs to look more interesting. I don't know what I was thinking when I did these 2 little sections. They look like garbaggio. But that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to my $5 patron, Lone Wolf 123. And if you're interested in being a patron yourself, go over there, check it out. For a buck, you get access to behind the scenes stuff. If you pay $5, you get access to all my source files at the end of every month. Pretty sweet deal. That's not just this game, but also future games. So yeah, if that's your thing, check out my Patreon. There's a link down below. And yeah, thank you for the support. As always, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Have a good one.